Hello, amazing business ladies. Welcome to the HerStory podcast. I am your host, Kylie King, and I'm the founder of Australian Ladies in Business Initiative. And I am so excited today to be joined by the amazing master of poetic rhythm herself, creative writer, Kylie Lee from Reborn the Rose. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Kylie.
Well, let's get started. I want to know all about this master of poetic rhythm, this creative writer. Can you introduce yourselves to our listeners and, tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, well, my name's Kelly Amanda Lee, and I'm the founder of Reborn the Rose. I'm a poet and a writer. I'm a survivor from domestic violence. My journey through life has been one of resilience. So I have faced domestic violence with my twin boys who are now 24. I do have complex PTSD from that and other traumas. And one of those other traumas was a rare malignant tumour that was removed in 2021, which left me to live with a urostomy, so I lost my bladder. So that's very confronting for me still. So writing has always been my process around healing, and I use my voice to empower others because I know myself with writing. It's helped me through some dark times. So Reborn the Rose is all about transformation and growth and reclaiming one's power through storytelling. So.
I love that. I love using storytelling to reclaim your power. That's beautiful. And how are you now? So you mentioned you're a domestic violence survivor. So good on you for coming out of that. That is such an obstacle in itself. And then you mentioned that you had cancer for a while. Is everything looking okay with the cancer?
Yes, I'm still on the radar for 5 years. But yes, the tumour has not grown back, which I'm very thankful for. I'm quite lucky to be here. So, yeah.
All right,
A
good. And
lot of
it can
people
stay
can
away.
relate.
We don't
Yes,
want it back. It can just stay away.
that's it.
So what got you started? What made you think I'm going to take all these obstacles that you've endured and then reclaim back your power, but not only to do it for yourself, but then to enable others to do it?
Okay. I first started writing poetry when I was 9. So my poem was published in the Writers of Townsville, as I'm from Townsville. I now live in Mackay, and we relocated due to the DV. So I just loved words, loved expressing myself and helping myself through writing poetry. Then I connected with Global Sisters, which really got the whole concept of Reborn the Rose out there. Prior to that, when I moved to Mackay, in the first 12 months of being here, I connected with a lady who said, you know what, you should really write a book and put your poems in the book about your story from DV. And that's what I ended up doing. So I got a grant from the Regional Arts Development Fund in Mackay, and I used the money to publish Reborn the Rose: My Journey from Domestic Violence. Reborn the Rose, I've always I've always loved red roses, and I used to, and I still do, sing the rose. So that's how that sort of came about, Reborn, and me being the rose. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Beautiful. How did it feel to publish all of that poetry and get that book out and hold it, I guess?
Yeah, it was, I did it all self-published myself, and I didn't really know a lot about publishing at the time, so I sort of winged that a lot. But I'm actually doing in the middle of doing second editions for both Reborn the Rose and Voiceless Secrets. So yeah, it was. I was very proud of myself, but I knew it wasn't the fact of making lots of money, because poets and don't make lots of money, I suppose, until they die. Some of them have had to die before they can before they can become popular.
Don't make money either, so that's okay.
No, but it was just the whole concept of it was the fact if I can help someone else, then that's all that matters to me. And it has, because it circulates in Mackay at the moment with service providers. And I have gotten positive feedback because they use it with their clients. So, yeah. And I've had a lot of people comment on it, just being a different sort of concept and including poetry, rather than telling your story as such in a novel sort of thing. So, yeah. Yeah, I was very proud. I had a book launch and I was interviewed and all that sort of stuff. So that was a little bit, well, how could I say it? It was a little bit difficult because I wasn't used to being sort of at the front.
Mhm.
And then, speaking, with different service providers and the police and things like that. So, yeah, it's come a long way. But I think Reborn the Rose is evolving now because I actually want to share it with people more than just through the book. I'd like to do poetry workshops, and that's what Global Sisters has been helping me do with, creating the business and the brand. And
Beautiful. So, you're going to start doing workshops for poetry?
yes, to target also rural communities because I find that they sort of miss out a little bit. And if I could do that virtually or actually go there and present it, in person, either or. But I do find rural communities do sort of, don't have a lot of the facilities and, events out there at, those sort of places, whereas the bigger cities do.
Hmm.
So yes, not saying
Beautiful.
that I can't do the bigger cities, but my focus is on rural, communities.
That's fair enough. And I think, generally when even the big companies, if we look at Big W not long ago, it was closing down its stores, it was closing down the rural stores
Mm,
in the
mm,
big city. So it does seem that like a lot of the rural communities like miss out on things. So I think it's absolutely amazing that you're open to everyone, but your focus is to go and support those.
yes, yes.
So what do you love about what you do? So it would have been quite, I guess, a cathartic release putting everything into that book. And
Mm.
then you mentioned a second book, so you've gone on to do that. And now to do poetry workshops. What do you love about it?
I just love how I can express my emotions, something that I probably wouldn't like express verbally, whereas writing it on a piece of paper or on my phone or on the computer, it gives me a sense of release. It also sometimes when I'm writing, like I just write, just keep writing, and so it, it's sort of like a story, but it's very therapeutic. Just with different struggles that we have in life. And I just find that your brain is the most strongest part of your body. And I think that's where you can possibly express yourself and learn all this manifestation and all that goes on, writing it down, you're sort of, you're putting things in place.
So as a writer and as a self-published author now, what have you felt has been your biggest challenge, as a business owner?
I think the fact that, I have faced domestic violence and a life-threatening illness. So that sort of has changed my way of living. More so the cancer. So there's certain things that I can and can't do because it was quite an involved operation and the tumour was very invasive. So getting my head around that to begin with is, yeah, and my complex PTSD does play a part. So typically I can't work full time as such out in the community. So I wanted something so I could still be contributing to my life, and I wanted also to inspire people. So yeah, I'd probably say my urostomy has been a huge adjustment, and everything about accepting my body the way it is now and finding confidence again. So ultimately I just refuse to let my circumstances define me, which is always what I've been about. Yes, you do go through things in life, but it's not what you go through, it's how you make that better. So that's what my beliefs are. And I just keep going. I don't give up.
Truly inspiring. And I think it's such an important thing that you mentioned there. How can I make it better?
Mm,
What can I do to change it? Because I heard a quote not long ago. It was like, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it anyway. So
yes.
it's time to change it and choose a
Mm.
path, which is beautiful. So let's flip it then. Let's get away from the challenging stuff. What's been your biggest achievement as a business owner?
Okay, I would probably say publishing my books, helping people, the help Global Sisters has given me. I mean, yeah, that was just that was a big turnaround for me coming across them, and it was only by chance that I was, yeah, Googling one day, and I don't even know what about, but I come across it and I went, I'd never heard of them before, and that sort of wasn't available in Mackay. So yeah, I got on board, and I probably have really concentrated in the last, say, 12 to 18 months with Global Sisters. So, I've revamped my website and I've done a lot of branding and what is my purpose for Reborn the Rose, things like that. So, yes, I love Global Sisters. They've been a huge, huge help for me, and all the sisters are so supportive. So, yes,
Beautiful. And isn't it great when you find a community like that and
it
it
is.
just all clicks together and you just
Yeah.
find your people, which
Yeah,
is
yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
Yeah, no, they've really and the actual workshops they run, it teaches you things that you wouldn't probably, or you don't know about business, and you go, oh, okay, that does make sense, yeah. So I'm all about creative expression, and I love sharing my stories and listening to other people's personal stories. So.
fantastic. So what's your ultimate, if you're willing to share it, of course, what's your ultimate goal for your business? What's the big, hairy, scary goal? Where do you see Reborn the Rose going?
I'd love it to go internationally. I'd love my name and Reborn the Rose to be a well-known platform, I think, for helping people express themselves through poetry. Words are very powerful. Words have a lot of meaning. Um, yeah, I think that's what I'd love to be able to, yeah, be a well-known name, let's say.
Oh, that sounds exciting. And is that for your books or the poetry workshops or both?
I think both. I think, yeah, I truly believe that, yeah, my concept can go as far as I can allow it, really. Further, it, yeah, there's a lot of ideas that I have got that, yeah, will make Reborn the Rose a name.
Fantastic. Is there any advice that you would have for small businesses that are maybe starting out, or maybe they're feeling that they might not be ready, or what's holding them back? Any advice you'd have for them?
Don't let the past define you. Uh, yeah, healing does take time, and take little steps. Find a group of people or a place where you're supported. You know, surround yourself with people who uplift you, I think. So, you know, with me, it's writing and my art and my artistic, creative side, but also putting that into a business where it then helps people to transform their lives. And it's like journaling, like, you know, some people journal every day. Some people read memes every day before they go to work, or whatever the case may be. You know, that's what Reborn the Rose is about. It's about inspiring you and uplifting you, even when your day at the beginning feels shitty. You can kind of turn it around and make it a positive. So,
I like that you mentioned doing it at the start of the day, because if you do it at the start of the day, it sets the tone for the whole day.
exactly, yeah, that's exactly right. You
Yeah.
know, what you manifest and what you say to yourself is truly what is going to be. Like, you need to be positive, and it also helps process your emotions, and, you know, never be afraid to share your story.
Yeah. Because you don't know who it's going to help. And
That's right.
and there was,
Exactly.
what's the quote? Like, your story could be someone else's survival guide. So
Yes, that's
very, very
exactly,
important to get
totally.
it out there. So, as the poetic master that you are, Kelly, what is one tip you'd share? What's one tip you'd share, maybe for as a sneak peek, to get me to come to one of your poetry workshops? What can you share with me?
I'd probably share the empowerment through storytelling, what poetry can be for someone. Um, it's a, I want it to be a space where people feel seen and understood, inspired to overcome challenges. Um, I help people find their voice through creative expression.
Beautiful. So, where do we stalk you? Where do we find out about these amazing poetic workshops you've got coming up?
Okay, so at the moment, I'm still developing them. I have put a expression of interest flyer up on Instagram, so at Reborn the Rose. I also have a Facebook page, my website, reborntherose.com. Um, yeah, I think I've covered all bases. My
Okay.
books are, yeah, my books are available on Amazon,
Oh, beautiful.
which there'll be a second edition. Yeah, I'm currently in the middle of doing that. So,
Exciting. So if we want a copy of your book, go to Amazon. You can get a
yes,
copy there. And
yes,
then if we're interested in checking out your poetry workshops, go online and express an interest, because Kelly wants to know who wants to come and who wants to stretch their poetic muscle and reclaim their power and share their story, which is just such a beautiful mission. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing your story. And I'm going to put all your links below so everyone can come and stalk you. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Kylie. Thank you.